Oh, here we go. Everyone, welcome back to Koilul Kol Shira and Breslev.org. Let's discuss the beautiful Parshas Vayigash, and how can Vayigash, this whole idea, we know that Yehuda was really representing Klal Yisrael, right? Yehuda is Lashon Yehudi, right? Right. And Yehuda is teaching us how we daven. And let's understand how that works now. So here we go. Let's see. And we're going to be learning, it's really in regard to Torah Reish Pei Beis in Likutei Moharan, which is lesson 282. It's a very famous lesson. Here we go. Okay. Vayigash Elav Yehuda Vayomer Bi Adoni. Yedaber na avdecha dava ba'aznei Adoni. V'darshu b'medrash. And the Medrash brings in Bereshis Rabbah, Rabbanan Amri, Hagosha l'tfila. This was an approach to tefillah, Hagosha l'tfila. He was teaching us how we approach the daven to Hashem. Okay? Ayin Sham, v'yesh laim al pi ha'mavaya b'divrei Rabbeinu Zal. That's Rabbi Nachman writes in Likutei Moharan in Torah Reish Pei Beis 282. Tzarech adam lizar miyoid liyas b'simcha tamid. We have to work constantly on adding simcha and being besimcha in a state of happiness in our life. It's a constant battle. V'laharchik ha'atzvus mi'oid mi'oid. And to distance despondency. We don't want to deal with despondency. We want to be mamish. We don't want to be depressed. We want to get rid of that. We don't want that. V'ashfilu v'afilu kishemaschil istakel ba'atzmai. So a person starts to look at himself. He's honest with himself. He looks at himself and he starts to see about it. And he sees, hey, I'm not such a good guy. A person could say that. Who's full of sin. He writes about the Baldova, the Yetzer wants to knock him down. Wants to knock him down with that. When he gives him those feelings that he's no good, the feelings that he's sinning, so he knocks him down so he can do more averos. It's easy.
You're sinning anyway, so do
it. Also, you can't fall from you can't do this. You have to search out within inside of you the ma'at tov, even a little bit of good. Even a little bit of good. Why? Because how is it possible? A person has to be honest with himself. How can it be that I'm living my life and I never did anything good? He has to think that to himself. Because everyone did something good, no matter who the person is, no matter what he's involved in. One point in time, he did something good. Everyone, he or she did something good. But now, fine, he found something good. He did a good thing. He did a good deed. He helped somebody. Whatever he did, whatever thing he found, he did good. Who roya, he sees. Shugam came malay pitzoyim. It's also full of holes. It's not as great. It's not. In other words, he sees even he did this good thing, but this good thing it had some problems with it. It wasn't done lishma completely.
He's criticizing that too.
That's the Yetzer. Ve'ein by mitayim. Did he sees whatever mitzvah, whatever tov he did? Who gam came malay penius machshavei zaros upegam rabim. He sees that whatever good he had, it was still stuck and then mixed in all stuff inside that thing. Im kol zayis, with all this, eich efshar shalayiyah ba'isay mitzvah davar shebekdusha ezem atayv. You have to think now to yourself, okay, good. So let's say I gave some money for tzedakah, and I gave it there, and then he thinks to himself, well, I really wanted this guy to know I gave the money. That's why I gave the money. But he has to think to himself, I'm just making up, and it could be anything, right? Okay, but he has to think to himself, but really there was still some good that's in there. In other words, okay, maybe it's not completely good, but there's still one portion of it that is good.
Something.
Ki al kol panim eich shu al kol panim. It doesn't matter al kol panim any way you'll slice it. There is always going to be something good.
Yeah.
Why is it so important? Because again, we have to focus on simcha.
Right.
If the person realizes that he's good, then he can focus on simcha.
Right.
But if he doesn't realize that, then he falls to despondency, and that's no good. Why do we have to do this? Because we have to give ourselves life. We have to enliven ourselves, and by you do that with simcha. Now, when you can find that little nekuda taiva that's good inside of him, he can now give himself life. It's amazing. And now he can start to daven. Now he can daven to Hashem. Because if a person falls, because he has a lot of sins, he got involved in a lot of bad things. He feels, who am I to daven to Hashem? I did all these things wrong. How can I open my mouth to daven to Hashem? He feels that way, right? Now, what happened? And that breaks him completely. He's totally broken by that. He falls to atzvos and bitterness. But instantly, right away. Umiyad. That's elikus. He's finding godliness inside him. We said that every Jew has an neshama, which is a chelik ilikamimal. And whenever he does anything good, Hashem is involved in that. Because any good that we have is a unity between us and Hashem. It's one with Hashem. Why? Because Hashem, His Torah is echad, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is found in the highest places and in the lowest places. Right? There's no place in the world that you don't find the Rebbeinu Shalom. So no matter where, and because we have the neshama in us, no matter where we go, no matter what we're involved in, Hashem is there with us. As we say, Hashem is there with me. He's there with me. Because of Toiv Hashem. Hashem is good, right? Toiv Hashem. Ki kol hatoiv shenimtza b'chol makim shehu hu rak mimenu yizbarach. All of the good is Hashem. So now, why is it so important to always find the good inside of you? That's finding godliness inside of you. Because Hashem is found in every single Jew. When you could search out and find that toiv that's in the person, in ourselves, you find Hashem, and you can talk to Hashem. Now this is coming from the lesson in L'Kutei Halachos of Hashkamas Habayit. We learned it together. I'll just remind you, this was about 2 years ago. Right? We learned this lesson together, that Rav Nosson said when you get up in the morning, it's so important to find the Nekuda Teiva in ourselves. Very, very important. When you get up in the morning, find something good about yourself. Right? Find something good. Do you like to learn Torah? Do you like to help people? Whatever. Find something good every morning. Find something good. Why? Because when you do that, you connect yourself to Hashem. Finding the good is connecting to Hashem. That's so important. Why? Because if you're connected to Hashem, right? Unfortunately, we do things wrong. Unfortunately, right? There's ain't tzaddik bar tashalayachta, right? We make mistakes. We make mistakes. But now when we make mistakes, we cause mashchis and we cause destructive angels to be created by the things we do wrong. So it's so important that every morning we find the good inside of us when we wake up. And we connect to the good, we connect to Hashem. And by doing that, those things that we created by doing the wrong things can't attack us because we're connected to Hashem. And when you're connected to Hashem, you have the protection. Now, and this is what it means, Vayigash Elev Yehuda. This is how we prepare ourselves to daven. So before you want to daven, what do you have to do? Find something good inside of you. We have to always look for something good. That way we find the elikus and gives us the power to be able to daven properly. When a Jew wants to come and he wants to start to daven, and he gets a heaviness upon him that he just can't feel, he can't even open his mouth, he can't utter a word, he just feels so laden. Because the Ra is covering over the good inside of him, it's covering it over. That's the kfira, when we don't believe that we have good in us, and we don't believe that Hashem is with us, and we don't believe these things. That's the kfira. But when we find the good, and we reveal that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mamish with us, because we believe that there's no mitzias, there's no existence at all without Hashem part of it. There's no existence. And only Hashem is found there with us. There's nothing else, only Hashem. And he's within us, he's within every single one of us. Then he can daven and talk to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. See, Yehuda was in a very dire state at that time, right?
Yeah.
Yehuda promised Yaakov Avinu that if he doesn't bring back Binyamin, he'll lose this world and the next world. Yeah. Right? Yeah. He was giving up both worlds. Yeah. He was at a very crucial moment for Yehuda at this point when he meets with Safnas Paneach, which he thought was, but it was really Yosef. So he wasn't talking to Yosef, he prepared a tefillah to Hashem. So what he was doing is he was trying to find something good inside of himself in order to have him open up his mouth to make this statement. To even make this statement, could you imagine he was giving up this world and the next world? I don't know if we understand that. That was a
again. What did he find good in himself at this point? That he made the offer? Or what? I mean,
no, that he wanted. That he wanted to correct this problem. He wanted to come to some solution. He wanted to be able to do that. So he had to find something good inside of himself.
And what was that?
Well, let's see. So we said in last week's parsha, Yehuda was involved in the Maisa with Tamar. Remember? Right. Let's think about that for a minute. Okay. He's involved with the Maisa with Tamar. Right, and then they bring Tamar and they want to burn her. Because she said that she was Mizana, right? That was his daughter-in-law, right? He was going to Mizana, right? And he says, no, I know her. I know her. He didn't have to say anything. He didn't have to say anything. No one would have known the difference. But he said something. He embarrassed himself in public. Right? He really embarrassed himself in public. Right? What? Amazing, right? Amazing that he did that. Amazing. Ki Allahu Yisbarach Sheiket Al Sifasai Shezeh Bi Adaini. Isn't Hashem part of my lips? He's on with me. Bi Adaini, my master. Hainu Shekoidim Shenigash B'Tfilah. Before I approach to come to daven, Omar Bi Adaini, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, my master. You are Hashem. You are my master. That's what Yehuda is saying. Halayata Nimsa Bi. Aren't you found inside of me? In other words, Hashem, aren't we here in this together? There's I have this problem, but you're with me in this problem. There's no metzias without a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Even in the dark and the terrible things I fell into. Lisham gam sham ata imadi. You are there with me, with no matter where I find myself in the world. Hashem, you're there with me. Bechinas gam kielech begeit salmaves lo'idada ki ata imadi. Right? We say that in the Tehillim, right? In the Mizmor L'Sayt, right? Right? We say that in Tehillim Chav Gimel, right? It doesn't matter if I find myself in the place of death. It doesn't matter. You're with me. You're with me. And these are the ways to get the words to come into the ears of my master, Hashem, to listen to me. Ki take it from me yad. Hashem Yisbarach Oisai, imoy ve'etzlai. When it's revealed and we understand that Hashem is mamish with me, when I get that, v'chol hatoiv sheyesh bai azeh hakol hu yizbarach ba'atzmai, and any good that's inside of me is mamish Hashem. It's all Hashem. Any good that's in me is not me. It's Hashem. Then we can dive into that way. We can begin to dive into Hashem. So we see from this, it's so important that we always find the good inside of us. When we get up in the morning, find it in the Nekuda Taiva, find something good. The world talks about finding good in others, right?
Yeah.
But Rav Nosson is teaching us here we have to find good inside of ourselves.
Also.
Find good inside of ourselves.
Yeah, but
That's what?
The hardest thing.
That's why it's so hard. That's why we have to be besimcha, and this is the way we can be besimcha, by finding the good. Because when I find the good, then I connect myself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because I realize Hashem is with me. Thank you, everybody. Okay, that was this. Was this a